New information on Walker Kessler in that contract situation. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing this channel. It's the best Jazz channel out there. Let's grow it. Also, the best NBA channel. Let's go. All right, so a week or so ago, we had Utah Jazz Media Day. It's crazy how fast the NBA just moves. But we got that interesting story from, I think it was Tony Jones, that it came out. Obviously, a puff piece, a PR piece planted by the Jazz to say that everything's great with Walker Kessler. We're just fine. We're going into this season. He's okay with not having a contract extension, even though he's been ineligible for months. And obviously, they've been talking, but everything's good. Well, on Utah Jazz Media Day, after that article comes out, we get that quote from Walker Kessler saying that he's not happy that they did not have a contract extension done. So it was not hunky-dory. It was not okay. He's not happy about it. And it's been interesting as preseason has gone on. Utah has an incredible first preseason game. Yes, they lose the game, but everything you wanted to see was there. You see Ace Bailey have just a phenomenal opening preseason performance. His first game, and he was awesome from the first jump shot he took. He looked great. Keontae George, 0 turnovers, 9 assists. He looked like he was controlling the point guard position even better than last year and doing a nice job of it. We saw Bryce Sensabaugh looking like an absolute sniper from 3. We saw a lot of nice things. But one thing that's been an underlying story of what's going on here is the Utah Jazz did not play Walker Kessler in that game. They did not play Lauri Markkanen in that game. And it's starting to make me wonder if there's more to this story. Well, we get more intel now from Zach Lowe, who said, talking about the contract negotiations between Walker Kessler and the Jazz, he says, I think he was asking for a lot from what I've heard. So basically, we can pretty much tell what's going on. Walker Kessler is asking for a lot. It's what I assumed and talked about on this channel. And the Jazz don't want to pay him that much. We can just be blunt about it. I mean, this is obviously me guessing, reading between the lines, reading the tea leaves, but that's what's going on. Kessler's asking for a lot. And as good as Kessler is as a rim protector, and he's a solid roll to the rim big, he's a very good offensive rebounder. He's still a traditional drop big. And it was interesting when Will Hardy, during Media Day, this was one of the other interesting quotes, he talked about what needed to improve on the defensive end, and he only mentioned one name specifically, and it was Walker Kessler, that he needs to improve defensively, which I think is interesting, because the thing that everyone knows, or at least this is how everyone thinks of Walker Kessler, is that he is a really good defensive player. Well, if Will Hardy is saying that he needs to improve, and that's his best skill, that's pretty interesting stuff. I don't know if this situation ends perfectly for Utah. We shall see. It may work out just fine, because what now is basically what's going to happen, unless the Jazz trade him, which is perfectly possible, and they might be thinking about it because his contract's low right now, so they can make any trade they want. They can even trade certain players into their trade exception they have. The Jazz have an $18.4 million trade exception that they could trade a player into that and just move Walker Kessler. So there's a lot of options they have if they wanted to do that. But the other thing is that it will go to restricted free agency, and they'll see what other teams want to pay him. But Utah may not want to go there, because we know there's some teams out there that might be willing to throw some money at him. We know from that Tony Jones article, the thing that was probably most interesting is mentioning the Lakers. And we know for the last 2 years, the Lakers have had a lot of interest in Kesler and have tried to kind of lowball the Jazz to get Walker Kessler. They're probably going to take cap money into this restricted free agency and throw it at Kesler and see if they can get him. Because I doubt Utah wants to pay $25 to $30 million for Walker Kessler. And so it's a dangerous situation the Jazz are in right now with Walker Kessler that I don't know if it ends completely perfectly. And, you know, we've talked about what Walker Kessler is good at, but there's some deficiencies to his game that if you're going to pay $25 to $30 million, it's a little scary because he's not on the same level as Rudy Gobert. He's like Rudy Gobert light, I guess, at best, really, right? But he is not an outside shooter. He does not shoot free throws even at the level of Rudy Gobert. He's a 50% sub free throw shooter. The last 3 seasons, it's just not consistently been better. He's had months where it's gotten good, but he has consistently shot about 50% from the free throw line. So that's scary when you're looking at this Jazz team and that in a year or two is going to really try to contend. If you're having a center that can't hit free throws and he's a cornerstone of your defense, that's scary because then you've got Walker Kessler going on and you can't play him at the end of games. So it's a scary situation. I don't know if this ends. If I was predicting, I would not be surprised if Utah entertains a lot of trade talks. And if we want to get tinfoil hat, the Jazz have not played in the last 2 preseason games. It's probably because of injury, but it's also something you would do if you were possibly going to trade a player and did not want him to get injured, right? Same thing with Lauri Markkanen. I'm sure there's an injury there, but at the same time, if there was a move coming, you probably would not want to play them to get hurt. The other element of this, there could be other reasons they're resting him. The Jazz are not going to get fined for resting players in preseason. The NBA does not care. But just maybe, the Jazz wanted to see what this young core group of players looked like without Kesler and without Markkanen. Because we saw Taylor Hendricks play extremely well in his first game. We saw Ace Bailey look like a future cornerstone of this Jazz team. We saw Bryce Sensabaugh, Keontae George, and they looked pretty good. And they held up with a Rockets team that's likely going to be playing in the Western Conference Finals if they stay healthy. So, yes, defensively, the Jazz have issues, and Walker Kessler would help with those things. But could the Jazz get the same type of production out of a rookie center? Like, I look at players like Yves Missy on the New Orleans Pelicans, who is really solid and is not going to get the money that Walker Kessler is asking for, likely. But is he giving you like 95% of the production? Probably. It's a tough situation, but I think the Jazz, there are situations where Utah could get better players for cheaper that give you close to the same production as Walker Kessler. When you consider he can't hit free throws, not an outside shooter, it's a tough situation that Utah finds themselves in, and I don't think it's going to have an answer quickly unless there's a trade. It could be coming, guys. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do you think the Jazz should do? If I were the Jazz and I was signing Walker Kessler, I would want to give him somewhere between 15 to 20 million. That's the amount of money I would be looking at. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Guys, thank you to the members. By the way, we're going to start doing some more membership stuff. I want to really reward the members and start kind of incentivizing more just to grow this channel. But thank you to the All-Stars so much. Every single one of you deserves just a hug from me. Virtual hug. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you tomorrow. Jazz game tomorrow.